Welcome back. I've got something for you today, as I always do. This is a professional game from 2018. I forget the tournament. Very sorry. I'll try to put it in the comments below. It is against Stats and Sue. Stats was the 2018 number 2 player in the world next to Cyril, and Sue is like the absolute king of silver medals in StarCraft tournaments. So you can safely say he is, I think he's the most decorated and the most earned StarCraft 2 player ever, and he's really damn good. So I want to look at what he does in ZvP. This is my, I like my current build that I'm doing. I'm getting lurkers and stuff like that, but decision making and things, when to do something, when to do that, I'm kind of just winging it right now. I don't really have the know-how that Sue does. So I want to watch this and see what he's doing, what he's looking at, and what kind of decisions he's making. So it's not a cast, it's just me kind of learning and studying this replay. So I'm just going to hit play. I'm going to go through it. I might pause it. I might talk about things a little bit differently, but it's me trying to understand what this player is doing. So let's get into it. Alright, I want to look at what his hotkey setup is. I want to look at when he's expanding and what he's doing, what's his overlord pathing. So this is a really kind of crappy map. I don't like this map a lot, but I think besides the map itself, I want to know what he is working on. So setting camera locations, I'm pretty sure. Yep. There's 1, 2, 3. There's his fourth. He's going to take it at the gold base. I like that idea. Second overlord's going out towards the main ramp. He's going to take a 16 hatch to avoid pylon block. It's something that I do. And the pylon block is when the opponent will send a probe after he makes his first pylon, and it lines up very well for when you're trying to take a 17 hatch, which is the most economical hatch to take, but I actually take 16 hatch in every matchup. Just looking for probes, for the probe to come across. So 18 gas, looks like 17 pool. There's the probe. He sees it coming in. He knows the timing. It's just a scout. It's after the 1 minute mark. He's going to see if he's taking a third, is what it looks like his one overlord is going out to do. First overlord looks like it's going to scout the natural. Second overlord looks like it's going to scout the third or maybe fourth base or attack path or something like that. So he's going to see what's in the wall. I want to see how aggressive he is with his first overlord. I see a lot of players send in their very first overlord against Protoss, and I mean, I don't see them lose it very much. So I want to know what he does with his overlords here. I'm just kind of looking at this very generally. I'm not going to get too much into the build order. I want to look at the composition. I want to see what he's making when he's going to make units. So he's doing a speedling opener. He's going to try to see what comes out of the first gateway is what I think. And then let's see what he reacts to. So he's sending out his 2-lings. I can't see what's at the bottom. He's sending out his 2-lings to the third to make sure that there's no problem with taking it. It's 30. Is he going to take a 30 hatch? It's an adept. Is he going to make more lings? Or is he going to just defend with how many lings they have right now? 2 lings. He took a 30 hatch, which is exactly when I take mine. Okay, so this is interesting. The posturing for when an adept comes is your first queen will walk off of creep so it can take some hits before it shades away. I like that. Okay, now we know. Second queen walks back into the mineral line. Lings chase. And if you see he's going adept, that's when you made 2 extra lings to defend it. Overlord is going way back into the main to try to scout the tech. Let's see when he actually looks at it. It's 3:15 right now. When is he going to try to see what kind of tech this Protoss has? It's 3:20 is when he sends it in. Right about 44 supply. He sees the Phoenix. Let's see when he gets his spores.
Birth successful.
Target. Okay. He's got one spore in the main, and he's got 2 queens at his natural, so he doesn't need a spore there. He's sending out his drones to the tower, and he's still just making 4 more lings right now. Because he sent his lings out in the map, he's replacing them in home. Probably for a random adept showing up, something like that. I'm assuming. He's still just droning.
Newly.
He's making queens constant. There's constantly a queen being made somewhere. That's how many queens he's at right now. He is at 4 queens. There's 1 more in the way. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Spread and creep between his bases. Alright, so let's see. What's his drone count right now? He's starting to get... So, fully saturated on the first. Fully saturated on the natural. Half saturated, 1/3 saturated over here. How many drones has he lost? He's lost 1 worker. Right now he is on 40 workers. So it seems like right now when he takes 51, that's about... I get my gases a little bit different than this. I get my gases here at 44, and then I drone up to 41 after I drop my Roach Warden. He has not dropped any tech yet. Usually I see tech drop at 415. So it's a little bit... I'm not going to say it's late. He's a much better player than I am, but he is not getting tech yet. There it is, the Roach Warden. Basically at 51 workers. Alright. He's checking the 4th. He sees the adepts. Now what is his position? What's his game? He's not making any roaches yet. He's making more lings. Just a couple more lings. There's the warp prism. He's got it scouted. Waiting for the roach horn to finish up. He's got a pretty nice bank. Roaches. There are 7 roaches. Let's see how many roaches he goes up to. I usually make 10 roaches for my first push. Roach speed. He's taking a 3rd. Archon drop. Love the control. Didn't lose anything there.
Swarm forces under attack.
Alright.
Swarm forces under attack.
Just trying to clean up the overlords. This is stats. Stats is amazing. Okay, so he's starting to make roaches now. Let's see his drone count. 63. He's got... Is it really 63? That's 63 workers. He's taking his gold base now. And now he's giving away to stats that he wants to take his gold base. His hydra's down already. Range first. Hold on, this is important.
Tumor under attack.
Yeah, he has range first. Range before speed. I think that's because he's not planning on moving out. If you're planning on being aggressive, taking speed first helps with the re-rally. But he sees the DT. Oh, not the DT. Observer.
Swarm
but if you take range first, I think it means you want to be defensive. That's what I'm going to assume. I don't think he's going to move out until he has speed. That's one of the things I want to look at. So very interesting. He doesn't take his 6th gas until much later.
Evolution complete.
So by 7 minutes, he's still not up to 6 gas. He hasn't been harassed too much. There was 1 adept, and there was an Archon drop. So it's not like he's been constant. There's, I guess, some oracles too. Let's see what his worker count is. 66, perfectly.
Swarm
and I guess there's no reason to make
attack.
more workers right now before his 4th base is finished. Because they're just going to oversaturate a base somewhere. So let's see if he makes more workers as soon as his 4th is done. Goes up to 70 or something like that. So speed is starting. Still not going out? Okay, there it is. Yeah, so workers are coming out as soon as it's done. So that's one thing that we should make sure that we're not going above 70 workers before we have a 4th base finished. So one little thing to remind myself. So yeah, he's not being very aggressive until speed is finishing, it seems.
Mineral cluster expended.
He's poking out, but he's not walking across the map yet. He's got amazing map vision with the lings that he made in the beginning of the game. How many lings does he have in total right now? 8 lings. He's going Spire.
Mutation complete.
Starting his Hive. 8:30. Very similar to my timing when I'm playing against a very easy computer in a custom game. Taking 5th base. The worker count, 70 workers. Maybe that's because he has a gold base and it doesn't need the 75. Get away with less. Let's see the saturation on his 4th base. 8. Probably because they're mining the
Evolution
appropriate
complete.
amount. 16 workers. Yeah, he's on 70. That's his lucky number. So there is some stuff coming to the bottom of the map. I'm assuming he sees it.
Hive cluster under direct assault. Swarm forces under attack. Swarm forces under attack.
Okay, now we're in an attack mode. Alright. So he's got dropper lords. Going for the greater spire. So it's roach hydra into
Forces under attack.
corruptor broodlord. It's 20-20 is his composition right now, so he's got an even amount of hydra and an even amount of roaches. It's good to know. Spine, remaking workers.
Mineral field depleted. Swarm
So every
forces
time he makes the
under
spines,
attack.
he's remaking the workers, getting the corruptor count up. And it seems like he's now being pretty aggressive now that he has
Swarm
speed.
forces
So I was
under
correct.
attack.
When he has actual hydra speed is when he starts to move out. Now he's looks like his main push isn't going to come until he has
Forces
broods.
under attack. Swarm forces
He's
under
almost
attack.
finished. More. What's his worker count? 67. I think he's going to try to get back
Mineral
to 70.
field
Let's take a look.
exhausted.
71. So yeah, he stays at 70 workers. So in ZvP, I'm going to this week just take Sue's advice and stay at 70 workers when I am.
Mutated
like-
swarm forces under attack.
How many gases do you have? 70 workers on. So 1,
Mineral cluster expended.
2, 3,
Swarm forces under
4,
attack.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10 gas, basically. I think this isn't a mistake, actually. I really think this is a mistake. He hasn't mined anything from it. I think he
Mineral
screwed
field
that up.
exhausted.
So 10 gas on 70 workers is the lucky number for brood stuff. So I think, honestly, him floating this many minerals is because of that. He doesn't have that, that 10th gas. And what's his brood count? Let's take a look.
Swarm
Brood count
forces
is 9
under
broods.
attack.
So I think lurker is going to be something if I'm getting constantly harassed and I need to move into kind of a more defensive play, or if I'm a little bit on the back foot, I'll go lurker to kind of push the game back into my court. But as soon as I can, we are going to get up to 9 broods.
Swarm forces under attack. Swarm forces under attack.
9 brood. What's the corruptor count?
Cluster
8
expended.
corruptors. So 16. So he's made 16 corruptors.
Under
And then he's
attack.
turned half of them into broods, and he has half of them as corruptors. And it looks like he's going to maybe make more corruptors now. Yep, so that he sees the
Under attack.
now that he sees the what is it? Carriers. But he is destroying stats right now.
Swarm forces under attack.
So we learned some good things. 70 workers. 70 workers on 10 gas. That is a big big yes. 70 workers, 10 gas. Maybe 75, depending on if we don't have a gold base. So 70 to 75 workers regardless. 10 gas is what we want. As soon as we get to the ability to make broodlords, we should make 16 corruptors, and then we should morph half of them into broods. So it's 8 and 8. Was it 8 and 8? It was 8 and 8. So it was 9, 16, 9 and 9. I don't know. How. Let's take a look. Let's look how many broods he made. How many broodlords did you make, Sue?
Swarm forces under attack.
Okay.
Mutation complete. Hive cluster forces under attack.
I'm just looking at the
Swarm forces
tab
under
here.
attack.
Okay, so let's take a peek forward. Let's jump forward a little bit.
Forces under attack.
Alright, some corruptors. Where are his corruptors? 4 corruptors. 8, 9. 9
Swarm
corruptors.
forces under attack. Swarm
9
forces
corruptors.
under attack.
Just gonna move across the map. I'm gonna watch this. So there's all of his 9 corruptors. Let's see if he's making any more behind this.
Forces under attack.
So as soon as the Greater Spire is done,
Mineral field exhausted.
There we
Swarm
go.
forces under attack. Sequences
There it
spun.
is.
Swarm mutated.
9 broods.
Swarm
9
forces
broody
under
boys.
attack.
Now we're going to see. There's nothing in the.
Mineral cluster
Oh, he
expended.
just took the gases
Swarm
now.
Forces under
Somewhere.
attack.
Alright. Now the broods are finished. 4 more corruptors in the bank.
Mineral field exhausted.
And I was maxed out.
Swarm
So,
forces under
He
attack.
stayed on about 175 supply. It was 9 broods. 9 broodlords.
Swarm forces under attack.
Alright, so we will take it from him, and we will say 9 is the magic number of broods against Protoss. That's a dangerous amount of broodlords.
Swarm forces under attack. Swarm
Awesome.
forces
Awesome,
under
awesome.
attack.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Stats, for giving me this awesome game to study. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just kind of... Some basics. Some easy basics about... some thought processes
Swarm
in
forces under attack.
ZvP.
Swarm
Decision making.
forces under attack.
When he's doing what, it's not so radically different from my build, which is good. It makes me feel very happy. If I watched this and he was like, oh my god, it's totally different,
Swarm forces
then I would
under
feel
attack.
very kind of scared about why is my build so bad. But he jumped right away.
Swarm
I think a big
forces
thing
under
for me is
attack.
70 workers. I'm going to say 75. 75 workers, if you get a gold base, you only need 70 and 10
Swarm
gas.
forces
I'm
under
going
attack.
to keep that as my go-to in ZvP from now on. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.